Sagittarius, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your reading for January 10th through the 20th. We're going to take a look at what you may not see coming and get some important advice from Spirit. Let's start out with a few oracle messages by the Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, because we are now entering a time period where I told the collective reading for the week of the 6th through the 12th today. Get your snorkel and your fins out, because we're entering a very watery world. We have a Cancer full moon coming up mid-month during the time period I'm reading for you. We also have 5 planets in water signs around that time. We also have the south and the north nodes of the moon shifting. And we are starting a cycle collectively for the next 18 months that's going to be largely led by what we need to heal emotionally. And intuitively, what we sense is going to be our superpower. And then we're also marrying that with Virgo in the analytical mind and letting go of resistance, criticism, perfectionism. So all of these themes we're going to be working on. We're kind of in this, container of these energies that will largely influence you moving forward during this time period. So hence a watery deck. Let's see. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in, for all your support. Happy New Year. All right, let's see. What are you swimming through with this snorkel and fins this time period? Ooh, we have the Pearl. Alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. Oh my, when we have the plunge. Okay, you're getting some sort of karmic reward at ending this cycle. Job well done. Spirit is actually saying, Sag, you have successfully completed the mission, which was basically, what did you learn about leading your own life? Aries North Node, and especially around your karmic patterns and the way you give and receive energy with others. Libra South Node. There's some sort of reward coming at the end of this. You're capturing some sort of pearl. Look at that. She's holding it. It's almost like, you're almost like, is this for real? Like, are you sure this is for me? Like, really? Like, I get like you're kind of like in this, what? I didn't expect this. Because what you're doing with this pearl is you're diving deep. It's almost like Spirit's like, you got your reward. You learn the karmic lessons. Now go deep into your emotions. And when you get to the root of the root, right, of all these lessons, what's there? You're plunging into it and you're capturing some sort of reward. I cannot wait to get the tarot out. And the plunge is about you not holding back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. You're diving into something and you're capturing a pearl. I'm going to get one more. The Pearl and the Plunge. I might have to name that for your title. The Pearl and the Plunge. Wow. Sag. You're going somewhere really beautiful. Last one, Spirit. What's the last one? I feel like there's one more. Cleansing, of course. Release the old. Energetic tune-up. You're in a new beginning. Look at that. It feels really cool. Look at this. You have both of these, almost like this shimmery. You're being glimmered. Are you being glimmered? Interesting. And in between that, you have this beautiful, you could be communicating, opening up to a brand new beginning where you're communicating your truth. There's some sort of shimmer, glimmer going on. Glimmers are these feelings of hopefulness, optimism. Okay, Sag. Take the plunge. Release the old. Your energy is totally going through a massive shift. Let's see what the tarot has to back this up. I'm actually loving this deck. I have not worked with it with the collective, but what a perfect time for it. What a perfect time for this. There's some sort of crystal clarity too. There's some sort of truth that you uncovered or discovered during your karmic lessons the last 18 months. And now as you embark on this new journey and this new cycle, from grit to grace. Wow. Like, you don't have to necessarily be in survival mode. You don't have to be in a state of resistance, or you don't have to feel the heavy burden of that anymore. Truly, there's something freeing about this for you. Something to do with your authenticity, because you're diving deep into your own truth. Spirit's saying, don't hold back from that. Dive in. All right, let's see. Oh, it is. It's about your Six of Pentacles energy. It's about receiving and giving equally. Oh, whoa. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Tower. Nope. Six of Pentacles, the Tower. This is what you don't see coming at this time coming in. What? Wow. Three of Wands. I think, dare I say, your ship has just about hit the shore. Your ships are coming in. What is in this ship? The Three of Cups. Okay, we have a lot of threes coming in. This is the unification of body, mind, and spirit. Your fire is being lit. You've been hopefully waiting for that perfect wave. This wave is coming in, has something to do with your soul tribe. In this deck, they're all looking up at the stars. So some sort of cosmic connection coming in, or cosmic alliance. Your emotional waters are going to be really flowing. That's the Three of Cups. It's time where like all your cups are runneth over, and it's not just one, it's three. This is also the card of unity consciousness. Page of Wands. Wow, they're just giving me so little to work with here. It's like you're having this massive awareness, a massive shift around something that you want to give to, that you're receiving equally in. You've been waiting for this feeling to arrive, and it's here, and you're twirling. There's something lightening you. It's like something is freeing you this week. You don't see this. Maybe you're starting to see it a little, but it's almost like this sudden shock wave is going to hit you. It's almost like a wave of the ocean is bringing you something to your feet, literally, and it's something to do with your soul tribe and a new beginning. All right, let's now clarify the Tower. That's the major arcana here that you don't see coming, which is a surprise. It could be a surprise in your connections, or a surprising new connection, or a change in a connection. Let's see. What is this Tower? What is this Tower? Oh, snap. Oh, okay. Wow. Two of Cups. I'm going to get a few more before I speak on that. Two of Cups clarifying the Tower. Queen of Swords. They want to pull it out. Nine of Wands. You've learned from wounds around romantic love. You're being called to look at the way this grit to grace, they're really, really emphasizing that, because that's what created the pearl to begin with. You've been through a lot, Sag. You've been through a hell of a lot. Nine of Wands is, I'm a little weary when it comes to romantic love, Jenna. But I've learned a lot of lessons. I've fought many battles. This Tower has a lot to do with your lessons, your karmic patterns, around how you give and receive energy. And where is it fair? Where is it equal? Where is the resistance in you? What needs to be purified and cleansed so you can let go completely? By the time this full moon hits mid-month, I think that you're going to be surrendering to something. Why is the Nine of Wands here? Justice. This South Node in Libra. You got like in this spin cycle. But there's some sort of pearl coming out of it. Ace of Wands, it's a new beginning. An inspired new beginning, but you're like, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Temperance, there you are. I think you're blending with a new energy. I'm not even going to go into who is it. New, old, it doesn't matter. It's a new frequency. You're exchanging cups with someone. And it's stimulating your mind. I think you're actually going through a very deep cleansing, healing, and purifying process with someone else who shares a similar journey as you. It could be a soul brother, soul sister. It could be romantic. It could just be platonic, but it's something deeply healing. It's almost like you've been waiting by the shore, waiting for what's next, not realizing there's like energies around you, invisible and visible, that are here to support you. I just heard like the blessed ties that bind, the blessed soul bonds that we carry, and how they change and flow through the currents of time. I think there's going to be a sudden shift in one particular bond here. And there's going to be a part of you that's going to want to go, uh-oh. Let's get some advice before I go into that. I feel like there's a little bit of fear about taking a deep dive here. It could be from both of you or one of you. Let's get some advice. As I see 1140, look at that number, 1140. 11 is a card of awakening, a self-mastery number. It's a spiritual activation. It's a call to action. And 4 is around stability. And 0 is at the 0 point of a new journey. You're building a new foundation. What's the advice, Spirit, for Sag? Page of Swords. You're like, let me just, you're communicating with somebody. Page of Swords, Ace of Cups, 6 of Wands, and the Chariot, my dears. Oh my God. The pearl. Some sort of pearl. You're going to hold on to it. You're like, this is, through sheer grit, I got this pearl. For some of you, it's a new love. For some of you, it's a heart-opening experience and a feeling of, I completed the cycle. I learned. I grew. I transformed. I'm better off because of it. I forgive it. I understand it. I'm awakening to my destiny as a result of it. There's something coming in, and it feels like new communication in your heart opening, and you're going to feel very successful. And your advice here is to open your heart, learn from your past. There's this feeling of pride and joy, pride and joy. The only thing they're asking you to do as you move forward on this path is to trust your intuition. And I spoke to this about the collective. Trust what your feelings say to you. Really. That should be your biggest call here, because you're surrounded by this beautiful energy of purification, cleansing, taking the plunge, and finding the pearl, the bottom of the sea. And it has to do with someone. I think it's time for you to take a victory lap. Literally, with the Chariot and you, 6 of Wands, riding on that horse. Like, I did it. I succeeded. I triumphed. I learned from this karmic pattern. And now, what you're going to do with that pearl, it's up to you. But it has something to do with the realization of an equal, a true equal, that maybe has, interestingly, been by your side the whole time. Physically or non-physically. You're aligned with it now. Wow. Okay, let's get a self-care card. And when I say non-physical, it's about calling that energy in and aligning with it and then having it come to you and summoning it because you're in the vibrational match of it, right? Or it could be somebody you've been friends with that it's now suddenly turning romantic because you're finally at the same frequency to actually open your hearts to each other in that way. Interesting. Wow. Self-care card for this time period. Sag. Have patience with all things, but first of all with yourself. So if you feel like, whoa, let's not rush into this, all right? The wait is over here. I get that you're in a brand new beginning because of the pages. But I think because of the journey you've had before this, you need to be patient because you might get overwhelmed or triggered. Have patience with all things, but first of all with yourself. Okay, Sag? Write down ways in which you can be more patient with yourself. Keep this list handy to reference when needed. So if you have a tendency to, whatever it is, whatever resistance you may have, okay, around anything related to what I've been speaking of, maybe write down a list if you feel compelled, okay? Why do I feel like I need just one more piece of this? Should I? Don't tell Aries, but I read y'all first. I'm just curious. Gosh, what do I feel compelled to talk about here? Because we talked about what you don't see coming. Let's get, and we talked about the advice. Let's talk about, I got it. Because that's what we're all jumping into. We're jumping into new timelines at this time with this nodal axis shift in our feelings. So let's talk about how can you best ground in what you're going to be feeling during this time. Thank you, Sag. Y'all help me with that. Now I'm going to use it for everybody. I hear you all saying, you're welcome, Jenna. All right. I love it. Despite this feeling like a one-way conversation, it really is two-way. It really is two-way. I feel all your energies in the room. All right. How can Sag best ground in this deliciousness, this pearl, this overflowing of emotions, this victory? How can you ground the best in this? Whatever comes out, don't abandon yourself. And stay true to yourself. 5 of Pentacles. That it's time to come inside. It's time to come out from the cold. It's time to be nurtured. It's time to be held. It's time to feel safe. It's time to not feel alone. So ground in the fact that you are not alone on this journey, that there are people that want to be generous with you, Sag. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it's a new journey. You're grounding in a brand new timeline where now it's not about abandoning yourself at all. It's about planting yourself firmly on the ground. You're going to stay rooted and grounded in this one. Because I think you had to learn from when you did abandon yourself, what would happen? Oh, wounds, my dears, triggers, trigger city. Yeah. I think that the best way for you to ground yourself is to feel whatever you got to feel. You've been looking at these 3 of Cups around loss and grief, but we didn't realize is you had the 2 Cups behind you the whole time. Surprise! Wow. It's like from loss to, and grief and the heavy burdens of that to a journey I don't think you expected, where there is a beautiful pearl of what you've gained from it. When we get off that karmic wheel and we totally accept responsibility for it and we stand in our truth and our vulnerability, we don't realize how much love comes after that. But if you focus too much on what you've lost, you will fail to recognize the love right in front of your face. Every day. The trees sing it to you. The people at the grocery store sing it to you. All right, so stay grounded and rooted. You might still have some last vestiges of grief to work through. This might be an emotional time for you because you might, sometimes too, when you shift to a higher timeline and it's almost like feels too good to be true, There's such a contrast from where you've been to where you are now going to be going that you're almost like in disbelief. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Like if you've been suffering a lot, you've gotten used to that. That's your comfort zone. You're not used to good. You're not used to joy and being met emotionally. So it might be overwhelming. I'm getting that your job to stay rooted and grounded is to feel what you feel and to know that you don't have to stay out in the cold in your suffering anymore. Only if you choose to be. All right. There's a door open, right? That's what this is. The Five of Pentacles is truly a card of come on out from the cold. The universe wants to gift you with something. And I would interpret this so different if it wasn't married to the Ace of Pentacles here. Out of loss, out of grief, you were given a new seed. It's like Jack or Jill with the beanstalk here. It's like you're at that root. It's now sprouting. And instead of it being a tree, it's actually a pearl. And it's something deeply emotionally nourishing for you. So that is your reading for the week. It feels more like a mid-monthly. Take care. Sending love. Namaste.